takes on Paul Banke. Tonight's triple header is brought to you by Budweiser, the undisputed king of beers. Caesar's Palace, the site of so many great fights in years past, tonight lays claim to another potentially classic rematch. What will be a sellout Las Vegas fight crowd getting revved up to see the champions and former champions showing off their stuff. Hello once again, everyone. I'm Cambrell Marshall. Welcome to TVKO's Friday Night Fights. And as you can tell, we have a full schedule of fight actions for you. The Hearns-Barkley 2, the return match, the number 2 we're calling it, bombs away. That's our main event. But we start out with USBA featherweight action. The title on the line, featuring another of those talented gold medalists from the '88 Olympics in Seoul, Korea. Kennedy McKinney, the bantamweight Olympic champion, is defending the USBA junior featherweight crown, and he's taking on the always dangerous veteran Paul Banke. He, of course, the former WBC super bantamweight champ. McKinney saying this is his last fight before trying for a world title. So let's get right to it. And to call the action at ringside, we go to my colleague, WNBC New York sportscaster Lynn Berman. Lynn?
Thank you, Cambrell Marshall. And the Caesars Palace Pavilion is a complete sellout. This is a tough ticket tonight. Hearns-Barkley 2 is the talk of Las Vegas, and I can't wait. That should be a good one later on tonight. I'm joined, as always, by the Los Angeles-based trainer Joe Goosen. And Joe, in our first fight tonight, the junior featherweights, both of these boxers have come back from serious bouts with drug problems. Do the similarities end there?
Well, yeah, definitely the similarities end there. As far as their matchup in the ring, you've got a tall Kennedy McKinney, probably has a 5-inch reach advantage on him, 3-inch height advantage over Paul Banke. Paul Banke, on the other hand, is short. He's a southpaw. He's a pressure fighter. And you've got, I think, a real good matchup here in these two fighters.
Interesting contrast to styles. McKinney already looking towards a title bout, which has really riled the Banke camp that he's looking past them. What do you think? The height and reach advantage, does that put the advantage in the corner of McKinney?
Well, I'd say really, if you give any advantage to McKinney, is that he's probably a fresher fighter than Paul Banke. Paul Banke's had 3 grueling tough fights with Daniel Zaragoza, great champion at 122 pounds, was stopped by Pedro Decima with a devastating right hand, and really has seen a lot of hard action in the past 2 years. So I think the freshness standpoint for McKinney is really the key factor.
Let's start, as always, with our Goosen's Corner feature, and let us begin with Paul Banke.
Paul Banke. Well, of course, Paul Banke promises that he's not going to fight like he did in the last fight against Zaragoza, where he tried to box and changed what really won him the world title. What he's got to do is pressure Kennedy McKinney. He's got to make a brawl of it like he always had in the past, and that's what won him a world title. Constant punching and body work, and he's got a good shot at making something out of this fight for himself.
And Banke in the ring just a moment ago, he knelt in prayer right in the center. From San Bernardino, California, Banke comes in at 21-6 and 11 knockouts. 2 of those 6 losses, as Joe was mentioning, to Daniel Zaragoza. They had 3 wars, and perhaps the toll that took on Banke is one of the reasons that he has only had 1 fight in the past 16 months. And now our Goosen's Corner for Kennedy McKinney.
All right, Kennedy McKinney really has overcome a lot of problems. He really went through hell the past couple of years with his drug problem, and he's really overcome it. And Kenny Adams, you got to credit his trainer with a lot of helping him there. But McKinney's got to win this fight, he's got to jab, keep his distance, use a lot of angles against Paul Banke, and kind of counter his on-rushing attempts. And really try to counter-punch him, use that straight right hand like you should do against a southpaw.
And the 26-year-old McKinney out of Memphis, 20-0. That one draw was a technical draw. 1989, Dave Sanchez. He was the U.S. Olympic gold medalist in the bantamweight division at Seoul. First time the U.S. had that particular division gold since 1904. In fact, he was voted to be the best fighter in Seoul, any country, any weight class. But now coming back from those problems, which we articulated a moment ago. The tail of the tape, Banke 2 years older, McKinney 2.5 inches taller, and that big 5-inch reach advantage for Kennedy McKinney.
That's right. Let's switch over to CompuBox here, Len. What you've got here is McKinney against Sugar Baby Rojas, the ex-champ, landing 45% of his punches. That's very active and a very high ratio of punches landed. On the other hand, you've got Banke Zaragoza. Now, this is Banke Zaragoza 3 from December of '91. Their last fight where Banke switched up, tried to box, didn't work for him, only landed 28%, which is not atypical of Paul Banke.
And the rules for tonight's USBA Junior Featherweight Championship fight, the 10-point must system, no standing 8 count, and there is no 3 knockdown rule. Saved by the bell, and only the 12th and final round, and only the referee can stop the fight. So right now, let's go up to ring announcer Michael Buffer for the pre-fight introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Caesar's Palace here in Las Vegas, Nevada, where tonight Mr. Bob Arum and Top Rank Incorporated, in association with the undisputed, undefeated King of Beer, Budweiser, present professional boxing for your entertainment. All the bouts tonight are sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. This first bout is sanctioned by the United States Boxing Association, President Robert W. Lee, Supervisor at ringside Robert Weitzel. The scoring for this bout will be done on a 10-point must system. The judges are Patricia Jarman, Dave Moretti, and Dalby Shirley. And when the bell rings, the man in charge of the action, referee Richard Steele. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's get things started with 12 rounds. This is for the USBA Junior Featherweight Championship. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner. He's wearing the blue trunks and weighed in at 121½ pounds from San Bernardino, California. His professional record, 21-6, 11 KOs, and he's ranked number 8 in the world by the WBO. Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the challenger and former bantamweight champion of the world, the real Paul Banke. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the blue corner. Wearing the red trunks with gold trim, he weighs an even 122 pounds. He's originally from Memphis, Tennessee, but now living and fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, ranked number 7 in the world by the IBF. He's a 1988 Olympic gold medal champion, undefeated as a professional with a record of 20-0-1, 12 KOs. Ladies and gentlemen, the USBA Junior Featherweight Champion, Kennedy King McKinney.
Okay, I spoke to both fighters in the dressing room. Caution again. Obey my commands at all times. Shake hands, good luck.
Joe, you might have noticed Kennedy McKinney's right eye is bruised, and it looks to be closed a little bit. This is before the fight begins. You can see it there. They are calling that a bruise from his last fight when he beat Sugar Rojas.
That's right.
Says he has no eye problems, but it's interesting to note that's how he looks before the fight begins.
Past experience tells me that an eye like that is still sensitive. It's red inside and can puff up early given the opportunity if he gets hit on it early on.
Banke, true to his word, charged across the ring, went after McKinney. Banke, as McKinney backed up, now they waltz away. Richard Steele separates them. Interesting to note, Steele was the referee for Hearns Barkley 1.
That's right, it really helped Tommy Hearns from actually falling out of that ring in that fight because he was literally locked through the ropes from Iran Barkley.
Banke, the more active puncher. They stand right above us at Caesar's Pavilion.
And he's doing the right thing in here, but he just got clipped with the right hand standing back in the corner here.
And then McKinney with the left hook. Banke landing and taking it back from McKinney.
And it was a sharp right hand from McKinney and a good body shot, but Banke is doing what, this is Banke's trademark right here. Busy action, but he takes a lot of punches. You see here, he's backing off and got clipped with 2 good straight shots because he lifted up his head out of that clinch.
My feeling was Banke was landing some more punches, but Kennedy's might have been more effective.
Yes, they were. Well, Banke is not a knockout puncher, but he overwhelms you and wears you down, and by virtue of that, sometimes can knock you out because of that.
And a good combination from McKinney, and then the right hand. You can see Banke's face looks red. We're only midway through the first round. McKinney with some solid punches. Banke comes right in after him. Backs him into the corner. McKinney content to fight out of that position.
Banke warned by Richard Steele for landing a couple of right hooks to the hip of Kennedy McKinney, and that will slow you down very quickly. Get on that hit on that hip joint.
You see the height advantage of Kennedy McKinney. So
well, here's where
listed at 2.5 inches.
That's right, and this is where actually Kennedy McKinney belongs. It's in the middle of the ring here.
Another good body shot, the right from McKinney.
See, that's what he can do. He can just lean back a little bit, come back with his counter punches.
And the left hand caught Banke. Another jab.
McKinney might have just wanted to be testing Banke's power and see what he had to offer in that first round by laying on the ropes there.
McKinney lands the right. Banke puts his hands down for a moment. McKinney goes to the body. Banke switched up for a moment.
And Banke telling Kennedy McKinney to come on, that you really aren't offering much with those punches, but I think they are having a big effect on Paul Banke. Those are strong right hands he's getting hit with.
I was surprised to see Banke go a little bit right-handed for a moment there. And that's it for round 1.
Big round for McKinney.
Now let me come in there. I want to get in there first. You're going to have to jump his ass. You got to be first. You're up there straight. Your head ain't moving. You ain't doing anything right. Okay. Take some arm out there straight. Come up under. Up under the elbow. Right there. Goddamn elbow. Right there in your face. Come to that elbow.
Here we go. Here's an early flurry by Kennedy McKinney. This is the beginning of the round when he caught Banke with a little counter left hook and then followed up with a right hand. See, he could keep him on the end of that reach all night long if he wants to. All right, here we go. Later on in the round, Banke putting the pressure on and a lot of punches, not really landing a lot of stiff ones. There was a nice uppercut by both men, and of course backs off the rope from that right hand.
Okay, here we go.
You okay? Come in on the same side.
Use your jab more. Use your jab.
Banke's already getting ready for the second round, and you heard his trainer Billy Smith saying jump on him, get to him first.
Well, not just that, he told him that he's pulling his head up in the middle and that he's just standing there after he finishes punching. Now you see Banke trying to come in with a little movement, a little head movement, which he should be doing.
Richard Steele separates them. This is round 2, scheduled for 12 for the USBA Junior Featherweight Championship. It's Kennedy McKinney in the red, Paul Banke in the blue. Banke, the former WBC Super Bantamweight champion.
Nice counter right hand by Kennedy McKinney, and of course he promises earlier his favorite thing to do against the southpaws, land that straight right hand and then follow with the jab. Let's see if he lives up to what he said he promised us. The reason he said he likes the jab afterwards, and he got hit with a nice right hook by Paul Banke. But the reason he says that a southpaw doesn't expect you to come back with another straight punch after that right hand, and he feels that Banke will walk into it after the right hand, just a stiff left jab.
Minute gone in round 2. Now in the center of the ring. Kenny landed the right hand.
Right hand, and followed up with a nice left hook after that. McKinney's right eye is already puffy and looks a little swollen. Of course, it looked that way coming in, but it looks even more irritated at this point.
He connects with the right again midway through the second round.
See, McKinney could do this all night long if he chooses to.
Keeping him at the end of the reach. Banke keeps coming in, and another quick little combination from McKinney.
Beautiful uppercut left hook from Kennedy McKinney, and Banke talking to McKinney, saying that it's really not doing any damage, but those are going to take effect. This is only the second round. If he keeps taking those, he could be in big trouble.
McKinney again doing more of the damage there. Followed it all up with a right hand. Another good right hand from McKinney, and Banke swung and missed. Banke doesn't seem to have a lot of power on his punches, Joe.
Well, he's having a hard time hitting Kennedy McKinney right now. McKinney is really showing a lot of classy boxing movement here. He's getting on the ropes. He's slipping under punches. He's making quick pivots out left and right. Getting off first here. He's fighting a beautiful fight right now.
Yeah. Again, he caught Banke with a right. And a strong right hand. And he's down. 3, 4.
Paul Banke is seriously hurt right now. One more flurry like that, and I really think Richard Seal will jump in and stop this fight.
That's it for round 2. And Banke's eyes look glazed over as he got up from that knockdown.
Tom, you cannot stand and talk to him. You've got to keep your head moving. Move to his right.
He's coming out. Give us a spit. Here you are. Here's your bucket of spit. Spit him right there. Pull it in some, Harvey. So you can spit. Needs water, Kenny.
Let's check out this knockdown here, landing that corner. Here McKinney makes a beautiful move, spins Banke, crushes him with a right hand right on the temple. Banke looks out right here, follows up with a right hand, missed with that left uppercut. That could have been curtains had he really hit him with that.
It was the earlier right hook in that sequence.
You got to keep your head moving to your right and be first. You got it? Do not stand and talk to him. This is not. Let's go, gentlemen. With me.
He's coming right to you. Line him up. All right, do what you're told.
McKinney continues to sit. Banke standing for the last several seconds, as he did during the first break. We start the 3rd round. Second one ended with Banke in deep trouble.
If Kennedy McKinney continues to sharpshoot with those type of punches, I'd be hard-pressed to think that Paul Banke will make it through this round if he connects with that same type of combination again.
No holding break.
That was really a delayed reaction knockdown before. It was the earlier right hook. Then he absorbed a couple more punches.
Paul Banke just didn't look real aware in his corner. His corner man was giving him instructions, and it seemed like he was just listening half-heartedly.
McKinney continues to sharpshoot. Another right hand, lunging through the ropes. Steele warns McKinney for pushing him. Banke was holding on.
Punch to get on. Punch to get on. Protect yourself.
The right was low for McKinney. Trying the uppercuts now. Kennedy McKinney is. He's looking for a knockout punch. Banke swinging a bit wildly and just falls down. It's not a knockdown.
Paul Banke's legs just don't seem real strong right now. He doesn't look like he has all his balance here. Even though he's very gallant here and he's trying to fight back hard, he's been in this situation before. He just doesn't look like he has it all here tonight.
Looks like an accident waiting to happen right here midway through the 3rd round.
Oh, great body shot by Kennedy McKinney. Backed off Banke.
Banke's mouth is wide open as he's backed up to the ropes. He's absorbed a lot of punishment.
What a big heart by Banke, though, fighting back here. You know he's hurting from that body shot. He's still got to be a little dizzy from that last round, and he's trying to fight back here.
Inside of a minute to go in the 3rd. McKinney looking for that one punch to end it. Big uppercut from McKinney. And the left hook grazed Banke's head. Will Banke survive the 3rd round? 42 seconds remaining. 2 crisp body shots from Kennedy McKinney. This is altogether lopsided.
That was a nice little sneak right hand by Kennedy McKinney, and it obviously hurt Banke a little bit because he backed off 3-4 feet, and that's really not his nature to do.
Another right for McKinney. McKinney low again with a punch. Again got away with it. Final seconds of the 3rd round. Banke will go to the 4th.
Yeah, which one?
You get low, keep your head moving.
All right, here we go. Let's take a look back at the last round here. I think a little sneak right hand after that uppercut is coming up here. Bing. Didn't land flush. There was the one I was talking about. And now look at Banke. A little delayed reaction, backs off, blinks his eye. And, you know, that obviously had a lot of effect on him, that little short right hand.
Moving to the right, Mac. You got the right hand underneath. or either you got the right hand on the top, then you got the jab back, and then you got the right hand again, okay? And then a follow-up.
And we are happy to welcome our guest judge tonight, the fine boxing writer for the New York Daily News, Michael Katz. How do you score it, Michael?
Well, right now I have it way ahead for McKinney, and I really think Richard Steele should be looking to stop this. It's very one-sided. There's no chance for Banke to win right now.
Just line him up, right hand, the jab, pop it out, and the right hand coming.
Well, I can't quibble with you at all. You even scored a 10-8 in the third, right, despite the fact there was no knockdown.
Well, here's an interesting stat. Of course, I think, basically you can figure this out. McKinney's out of 100 punches has landed 49 for 49%. Of course, Banke 68 thrown, only 8 punches landed cleanly for 12%.
That's even worse than that last statistic we had against the Zaragoza fight, which was unusual.
Right. Of course, in the corner, you heard McKinney complaining that he got a thumb in the eye. It's on his good eye, as if he didn't have enough problems. So his left eye being thumbed and his right eye being bruised. But look at Banke here. I mean, real rugged customer. He's just not going to quit. He's not going to give up. And maybe his shot is to have, his only shot here is to have McKinney's both eyes closed to get back into this fight.
I'm not sure that would do it, Joe. Banke just coming on as well as he can, throwing punches, charging ahead. I'm not sure what, if anything, he has left or what he's had tonight.
Come on, punch out, punch out.
A couple of body shots.
No, some real nice body shots from Paul Banke. Just not a real lot of steam on him. And McKinney is just making all the right moves inside right now. Got caught with a little punch on the eye.
Banke's landed some here in the fourth round, but McKinney tattoos him back. See all those punches landing from Kennedy McKinney, putting on a boxing exhibition here midway through the fourth round.
Look at Banke come back, and he caught McKinney with some good shots.
And the jab caught him going backwards. Well, Banke, a game little fighter here in the fourth round, and the crowd responding to it.
Well, see, this is exactly what he did against Zaragoza, but of course wasn't taking this type of hard punishment early on, and knocks McKinney's mouthpiece out.
Mouthpiece, they're stepping on it on the canvas.
This is the type of heart, though, that made Paul Banke a champion. And really, we may have written him off a little too early in this fight because he's coming back very strong right now.
And now a timeout is called with 38 seconds remaining in the round, so they can clean off the mouthpiece and get it back in. Good look at Kennedy McKinney's eyes. Paul Banke with a strong fourth round.
Well, you wouldn't have thought after the second and third round he'd be really capable of doing this, and he's coming back very strong this round. If not winning it, he's really in this round altogether.
I thoroughly agreed with what Michael Katz said a moment before about Richard Steele thinking about stopping the fight.
Well, that's 100% right, and he got clipped with another right hand from McKinney in the corner and backed off and did a little funky chicken wobble here, but he pops right back. He's just got a lot of determination and heart. Oh, good sneak hand by McKinney again.
And that's it for the fourth round.
But look at Banke hop back to his corner as if he knows he's back in this fight again.
Looking beautiful, Paul.
All right, good.
How you're talking?
You're starting to work his body. His head's starting to come to you. We got to have more body yet. He's starting to come to you a little bit by you working his body. Okay?
Okay.
We got to have more body yet, Paul. When you go to that bell ring, you stay.
It shouldn't be dead now, okay? Number one,
I think we're going to see a little replay of the action along the ropes here where the mouthpiece comes out. And here's Banke coming on strong like we didn't think he was going to. Landed a good stiff left hand as he turned orthodox. Little chopping left. Good little uppercut on the inside. Here comes the mouthpiece segment. Right hook. It misses, but look at the left uppercut. And McKinney walked right in and put his head right into that uppercut. Took another little left hand after that. Well, I'll tell you, Banke is a rough customer taking those punches and coming back like that in this round.
And he does not sit for the full minute. He's up and ready to go with 10 seconds to go. And just now, McKinney gets off of his stool to start the fifth round as the fight has turned a bit after the fourth.
Well, you know, Paul Banke said he can't lose this fight. He can't give up because he's got a new kid that he just had, a new little baby girl, I believe. And he says this is what he's doing it for. And maybe that's in the back of his mind why he's got to fight so hard tonight.
His right eye is closing a bit.
Don't spin and break. Stomach. Don't spin it. Don't spin it.
Banke still has spring in his legs. Takes the right hand from McKinney.
Well,
bores in on him from below.
Of course, Banke's keeping his hands real close to the side of his face here, and this is the key time for McKinney to bring his uppercuts here, because Banke has been catching a lot of punches off the side of his head.
Banke is holding with his left glove and hitting with the right. McKinney, strong, straight right hand.
Banke's blocking those. He's keeping his hands very close to the side of his head.
Punch it, get out of it. Right.
Here's where the experience factor might play a part here for Banke getting back into this fight. He's fought 3 or 4 world champions, and McKinney's been in with 1.
Punch your way out. Punch your way out.
Banke really not listening to what his corner told him. He's headhunting right now, and he's really missed 4 or 5 punches in a row here where his head is down towards McKinney's body. He might as well shoot some punches down there and try to slow McKinney's footwork down.
Midway through the 5th round, McKinney seeing clearly out of both eyes. Right one looks about the same as it did before the fight. Cracks a body shot, McKinney does.
Paul Banke yelling to McKinney, "Come on, bro," as if to stay here. Don't slide off the rope. Don't run from me.
McKinney hits and runs. Hits and runs.
Oh.
Right hand and moves away. Banke looks back with disdain.
Paul Banke is very animated in this fight here, and that can be a little discouraging to McKinney, hitting him with a straight right hand like that and have his opponent smile at him.
Banke's boring forward, and McKinney is showing respect. I mean, he'll hit and back off. McKinney tried with the uppercut. Caught his head under his arm instead. Lands a couple of shots again. Banke says, "You're not really hurting me."
Well, McKinney isn't landing as flush as he was the first 2 or 3 rounds.
He says, "Come on, Paul." Paul talking to McKinney.
That's right.
Final seconds of the 5th round. Oh, good right hand from Banke.
Good right hand from Banke as McKinney was throwing a right hand to the body.
Right.
And McKinney holds on to his head.
Gave a nice shot to Richard Steele right there in the breadbasket as they were being pulled apart.
Now we're doing the right thing. Now we're doing the right thing, okay? All right, we set him up now. Always something to do now is try to set the man up.
Go, put the ice back.
You with me? Excuse me? Always something you're going to do now is try to set him up, Mac, okay? All right, you got the jab working, and I want you moving around to the right, okay? I want you to give him step to the left and move back to the right and turn him all the way around, okay? Not listening. Not listening. Not listening.
Set him up. You're going to be low. We're going to use a double jab and get to his body, right? Okay. This arm sticks out there. Up under that elbow.
He does that a lot. Okay.
Do it, right? Boom. Okay. Come on, I showed you that guard. Yes. All right, now use it. Use it. This is a title fight. Come on.
Double up on the right hand sometimes, you understand? You got to pop. Set him up, okay? Try to work with the body. Slow him down a lot more, okay? Slow him body.
And here we go with round 6, scheduled for 12 for the USBA Junior Featherweight Championship.
Looking at those CompuBox stats, Banke has really doubled his connect percentage from 12% to 24%, and McKinney has dropped 9 points from 49 to 40% here. So Banke is making a run for his money here and coming on in this fight.
And McKinney's throwing a lot more punches. It'll be interesting to see if fatigue becomes a factor later on.
Well, see, McKinney is showing a lot of movement, maybe more than I think he should here. I think instead of taking 4 and 5 steps away from Banke, he should, sometimes smother his power by moving into him, take a few shots and step around him. It was a nice little step and right hand from Kennedy McKinney.
The first 3 rounds, this was about as lopsided a fight as you could see. Favor of Kennedy McKinney. And the game southpaw Paul Banke, showing his experience, has come back here.
We got to apologize to Paul Banke for maybe writing him off a little bit too early in this fight, because he's proved us wrong here. I really thought that his legs were gone and that he was on his, it was basically the last seconds were his last in this fight, but he's he's really come back strong in this fight.
Come on, punch and get out. Don't hold it.
There was a knockdown in the second round. McKinney put down Banke with a right. Oh! Banke caught a combination. And now McKinney goes after him again.
He definitely looks a little stunned and hurt here.
And there's blood around the right eye. Big combination from McKinney over in the corner. And he goes to the body, and Banke says, yeah, hit me down there.
Well, I think he was complaining about a low blow in that instance there, but nevertheless, he has a lot of disdain for McKinney.
Oh, he's pounding his chest again. Oh, he's talking to him. He's saying, come on, hit me. And there's blood coming from Banke's mouth and eye. Another right hand from McKinney. Banke really banged up here in the 6th round and asking for more.
Oh, you
that was
heard
a low blow from Banke.
You heard the left, and Banke apologizes. But you can hear the sound of that cup being hit, the protective cup from Kennedy McKinney with that left uppercut.
It's a bad corner for Banke. Every time he goes over that corner, he gets trouble.
Well, he's on wobbly legs right now.
And McKinney with another strong body shot, and the left hand, and a right, down he goes with another right hand.
3.
I really wouldn't want to see this fight go on too much longer because Paul Banke looks really on the edge of being seriously hurt here.
You want to fight?
Yes, sir.
Banke says he wants to fight.
Now McKinney just measuring Banke.
Cannot be saved by the bell.
Oh.
And he heads back to the corner. Richard Steele watches him closely.
You want him to continue, man. The guy's taking the beat.
Well, Dr. Flip Pomansky is coming into the ring.
Steele wants to stop it.
Yes, and I think it's a smart thing to do.
Let the doctor look at him.
He took too much punishment in that round.
That's it. That's it.
That's going to be it.
That's it.
Well,
that is it. Kennedy McKinney, the winner.
Here we go. Let's take a look back. And here we go, a left hook. McKinney just measuring him, and that right hand, even though it deflected off the glove in the top of the head, it still did a lot of damage. Banke just took too much punishment this fight. But he really made a game and valiant effort to come back and try to get back into it. That shows the giant-sized heart of Paul Banke. What a tremendous fighter he is and was.
Those 4th and 5th rounds, very impressive for Paul Banke. He took similar beatings in the 3rd and the 6th. And finally, Richard Steele said that was enough, looked at him closely, and called it off.
And that really goes back to what we were talking about earlier, being the fresher guy, McKinney, coming in this fight. Banke has just been in too many wars, and I think they've really caught up to him. And I hope he hangs him up after this one, because he gave it one more shot against a top-rated contender that's on his way up. And changing of the guards here, Lynn.
Well, it's the 3rd consecutive loss for Paul Banke and the 7th defeat of his career, so maybe you're right there. That's the USBA junior featherweight belt.
Okay.
And this is the first defense of that belt for McKinney, and it is a successful one. And Michael Katz of the New York Daily News with us at ringside. And Michael, we were in total agreement after your 3rd round scorecard. And then did Banke show you something in the 4th and 5th?
Absolutely showed me the class of why he was a world champion. I think he has no legs left. I think he should think very seriously about a new profession. And it was just a matter of time. I think the mouthpiece falling out of McKinney, I don't think he has the right mouthpiece in, because it was loose in the 1st round, and a couple of other times he almost lost it. But Kennedy McKinney is showing all the poise of a future world champion. He is a good one.
Michael, McKinney has talked in terms of wanting a title shot. He said at the news conference as early as May or June. Do you see that in the cards?
I think he'd be crazy. I think he has to wait until that eye heals. This is really silly. I mean, maybe against the Paul Banke, who's not much of a hitter, and he only had to go 6 rounds, but against some real fighter, no. You can't go in there and risk a cut.
All right, let's go up to Michael Buffer for the official decision now.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Richard Steele, acting on the advice of chief physician at ringside, Dr. Flip Pomansky, stops this contest at the end of the 6th round. The winner by TKO victory, still undefeated, and still the USBA Junior Featherweight Champion of the world, Kennedy King McKinney.
So McKinney goes to 21-0 with that one earlier technical draw on his slate. And Paul Banke, as Joe Goosen and now Michael Katz suggest, perhaps at the end of his line with a 21-7 record. And Joe Goosen is in the ring. He's standing by with the winner, Kennedy McKinney. So why don't we send it up to Joe now? Joe?
Okay. All right. I'm here with Kennedy McKinney, still the USBA champion. You got to admit, did Paul Banke surprise you coming back after that second and third round as strong as he did in the fourth round?
Yeah, but I knew going into the fight that he was going to be tough. Coach Adam had schooled me on that, told me don't take no chance with him. Even if I hurt the kid, he could come back, and he showed it tonight. He was tough. I hit him with some good shots, and the kid didn't want to go down. I'm just glad the ref stopped it, because I was getting him with some good shots, and I don't think he could have took too many of them.
Now, of course, Akbar Muhammad came over and told me right after the fight that Paul Banke said that he's retiring after this fight. And what are your thoughts on that?
Well, that's good luck to him in his future, whatever he does, but he had a good career. He was champ once, and he's a good fighter for anybody to fight, but I'm glad to see him go ahead and hang it up.
Well, let's talk about your future. Of course, you're the USBA champ. You've got to have a title shot pretty soon lined up here. Akbar, Kenny, what's in the future for Kennedy?
I'll let the manager talk. He knows basically what we're going to be doing in the future here. So.
Well, you know, I think we got a great team here with Kenny Adams, who I think is one of the best trainers in the world, with Tony Tagano, president of Las Vegas Gloves. And what we're looking for right now is a title shot. We're looking at Welcome Nacita. We're looking at Raul Perez. Right now, this is the second champion, former champion that he's beaten in succession. It's time now for a title shot. And that's what we're looking for. We want that by June. That's where we're headed.
Are you ready for a title shot, Kennedy?
You bet I am. I'm looking for it. Long time coming. I need one. I'm ready.
All right. If you had your druthers, who would you rather fight in the title fight, Perez or Nacita?
It doesn't matter. I don't really care who I fight. As long as one of them give me an opportunity, and if I get the opportunity, we hopefully to take the title shot back to Memphis, Tennessee, my hometown. So I'd like to say hi to everybody back home. Hey, I did it again.
All right, wonderful. And this is the Kennedy McKinney I think a lot of people expected to see after the Olympics, and you're really fulfilling the dreams that a lot of people had for you and for yourself. Congratulations, Kennedy. All right. All right, Ling. Len, back to you ringside.
Okay, thank you, Joe Goosen. Our final CompuBox statistics from our first fight of the evening. As you can see, Kennedy McKinney throwing a lot more punches, certainly landing a lot more, 215 to 87, the connect percentage. That really tells the story with those major rounds in the third and the sixth. And as you have heard, we have seen the retirement tonight of the former WBC super bantamweight champion, Paul Banke. So now Kennedy McKinney has overcome the drug problems he has faced. After winning that gold medal, he thought he was on top of the world, but it didn't work out until now. Now Kennedy McKinney is on the track perhaps to the championship. So the first fight tonight is history. Let's go back to our host now, Cambrell Marshall.
Thank you very much, Lynn. Our main event, not far away, the WBA Light Heavyweight Championship of the World. Thomas Hearns, Iran Barkley, a rematch of a middleweight fight. Barkley took that away.
What you seen was a man that went out there and he boxed the first 2 rounds and he got cut up and he took some good shots from Tommy. Then you seen a possessed man. Then I sat down and I said, hey, the boxing is not working. I said, now it's time to change to something else. And I just went deep down into my soul and into my inner strength and pulled out my street fight. And just clocked him.
I was very disgusted. When I slacked up and got a little careless, he made me pay for it. And that would happen in the fight. It will never happen again. Trust me, never.
A lot of surprised people that night 4 years ago. Iran Barkley, the surprise winner, and he says he's going to be the surprise winner tonight. Now, our next TVKO telecast coming up in May, we're going to be going to the heavyweight ranks. You might remember Michael Moore. Last April when we came on the air, Michael Moore made the step up from the light heavyweight ranks to the heavyweight division. He is doing that, and he's continuing to march toward what he hopes will be a heavyweight championship. The WBO crown is on the line in May. Smoking Bert Cooper's a guy standing in his way. That's